wrinkle in the debate over whether women can truly have it all. In the tug of war over work and family, successful top executives are sending mixed messages about how women should balance their lives.
I think we're stalled, and I think we need to acknowledge that we're stalled so that we can change it.
Facebook Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg, author of a new book called Lean In, told 60 Minutes that women have to try harder.
They start leaning back. They say, oh, I'm busy. I want to have a child one day. I couldn't possibly, take on any more. Or I'm still learning on my current job. I've never had a man say that stuff to me.
During the same weekend that interview aired, Erin Callan, a former chief financial officer for Lehman Brothers, reflected in a New York Times editorial that she wished she hadn't invested so heavily in her career. Writing, until recently, I thought my singular focus on my career was the most powerful ingredient in my success, but I am beginning to realize that I sold myself short. I was talented, intelligent, and energetic. It didn't have to be so extreme.
Well, I've been a mom now for about 4.5 months, and I've been CEO for 7 months.
Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer made headlines last year when she revealed she was 6 months pregnant just as she was named CEO. But Yahoo and Mayer have recently come under fire for announcing last month the end of the company's work-from-home policy. Economist Sylvia Ann Hewlett is president and CEO of the Center for Talent Innovation. Galina Espinoza is a media consultant and Parade magazine contributor. And Dr. Sue Varma is a psychiatrist at NYU Langone Medical Center. Good morning to all of you. I expect we're going to get 3 different perspectives on this, and I hope so. Let's try to take it past the traditional can women have it all debate, which I think we've had and probably will never resolve. Sandberg is getting a lot of criticism because some women think she's saying the fault of women's, as she says it, being stalled in the workplace lies with women. Sylvia, what was your initial reaction to that?
Well, I think leaning in, grabbing hold of ambition is a great idea. But you can't do it all on your own. Employers have to lean in too. We find in our big new study that sponsorship is a game changer. If companies create pathways to sponsorship for women, they're 20% more likely to get that next job, and they're 30% more likely to hang on to their ambition, which is pretty important.
Okay, but let me be devil's advocate. Sponsorship, why do women need sponsorship? Do men need sponsorship
too?
They do,
and men have twice as many sponsors as women. This is that senior champion who's going to kind of tap you on the shoulder and give you some fabulous stretch opportunities so you can strut your stuff. Now, Sandberg herself had an amazing set of sponsors, starting with
Larry Summers,
right,
who was the Treasury Secretary.
One of the things that Sandberg is saying is that women don't have the traditional groundwork laid for them already like men do. And so I find her message to be incredibly empowering. She's saying, yes, it's a very complex issue and there are a lot of things that need to change, but here's what you can do to make a difference for yourself.
And Dr. Varma, this brings us to you because I think she raises some provocative issues. In that interview, she said, women, when you ask them what accounts for your success, will often say, well, my hard work and my luck and people helping me, and they can't say it's my core skills.
It's because
she herself had difficulty in that interview attributing her success to her own innate abilities. I mean, are we hardwired differently?
Yes, the nature versus nurture question is particularly interesting because biologically women are driven to form communities, harmonious communities. Estrogen and oxytocin, which is present in both men and women, is higher in women. And so for men, however, they have more testosterone, about 6 times more, and that drives them to competitive, risk-taking behaviors. So for women, forming communities in the animal kingdom, in the human species, is about survival. And competitiveness flies in the face of that.
Well, let me take that as a jumping-off point, because women are not biologically like men. Should we be trying to make them socially like men? Why not have women use the attributes they have to their advantage, Sylvia?
Well, here's the thing. One reason why companies, need to get into this game and lean in too is that there's all kinds of research out there showing that gender smarts and gender-styled leadership is incredibly important for innovation and for growth. In other words, when groupthink goes on with a whole bunch of, white guys who are all somewhat homogeneous, you do not get creative solutions.
Right. Diversity is a powerful force.
And there's a lot of new data showing that gender smarts in decision-making creates all kinds of new market opportunities.
And one more piece of that, because we've talked a lot about the company role, is the role of men, because Cheryl very pointedly talks about how you need to choose wisely in a partner. You need someone who's going to at least be willing to do his half of the laundry.
You mean your spouse, whomever you choose as your spouse.
You need someone who can approach you as an equal, both at home and on the job.
Which brings me to the next topic, which has to do with this work-life balance issue. A lot of women, whether they stay at home or whether they work, will confess to feeling guilty about the choices they made. And to that end, we saw this op-ed in the New York Times from a former top executive at Lehman Brothers, Erin Callan, somebody very successful. She was very honest about saying that, you know what, in retrospect, she feels she got it wrong. She put everything into work to the exclusion of her home life. Sandberg says there's work and there's life and there's no balance. Well, Marissa Meyer says, I don't believe in balance, not in the classic way. Doctor?
I want to say that it's not about balance per se, but it's about flexibility and adaptability and knowing when to use that community side of you and knowing when to use that competitive side of you. So the goal often is not about making friends. If you're at the negotiating table, you're not getting that person to like you. You don't need for them to like you at that moment. You can be friends with them before and after the negotiation. So being able to be flexible, that is one of our greatest skills and has to do with resiliency and longevity in our careers.
We just need to start utilizing all of those skills, and I think that's the real takeaway.
But success does give you more choices. It's actually something she brings up because women are delaying childbearing these days, and clearly if you're earning more and more senior, you are able to dictate your terms more completely to the workplace, particularly if you have, some fabulous champion in your corner allowing you to actually go home at 5:30 and get online again later that evening, as she does.
Although I will point out, she does go back to work. Everyone's been grabbing on this, that she leaves the office at 5:30. Well, after she has her family dinner, she's back at her computer.
Well, we all have these really long days, and those work hours are many that, we're very familiar with.
Well, I think the message is basically women can lean in, employers can lean in, and hopefully all the leaning in will result in balance. Is that what we're
in the middle?
Sylvia and Galina Espinosa and Dr. Sue Varma, it's great to get your perspectives. Thank you so much.